I could see the rainbow that is wrapped around your head, and all the little visions of the things that you have said. The reds and greens and blues and all the colors of your world look good to me. Now see beyond the shadows of the stories you have told. I realize the answers are all there for me and you just to hold. So take a chance and let your spirit free. 'Cause I don't wanna be the one to make you run away again. Please don't be afraid. Just let this all begin, 'cause I want to say these words to you. You know it, baby, I know that we can make it through. If I just say these words to you. The last thing that I want is for you to run away, afraid that I might scare you with the words that I might say. And if I'm gonna take this chance, I hope that you are gonna take it too. Run away with me, we'll write the story as we go. It'll be a happy ending and we'll find our final goal, and you will see a better place for you and me. And I don't wanna be the one to make you run away again. Please don't be afraid. Just let this all begin, 'cause I want to say these words to you. You know it, baby, I know that we can make it through. If I just say these words to you. Some only get one chance, but here we are again. So let's not let our second chance slip away. Hey, hey, hey. I want to say these words to you. You know it, baby, I know that we can make it through. If I just say these words, I want to say these words to you. You know it, baby, I know that we can make it through. If I just say these words to you. If I just say these words to you. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, how are we doing today? I am John Tagdiri. Welcome to the Sunday Storytellers Series. We got a lot to talk about this week. We had a lot going on. We have an amazing guest tonight. There is going to be some fun going on, but I got some big things to talk about first. First off, thank you for coming back this week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting music, listening to original music in the world. Like, you know, everybody knows I've done a lot of cover gigs in my life, but thank you for tuning in every week to hear some great original music that I get to bring you. Couple of things I want to talk about real quick before we bring our guest in. As of this week, this show, the Sunday Storytellers Series, is now part of Plymouth Rock TV and will be broadcast on Roku. So if you have a Roku box, you can download or get the Plymouth Rock TV channel, and then you can look for this show. So we're going to get moving with this show on the station this week. This will be the first show to go on. I'm so excited to do it. And it is going to bring us into a lot more homes. And, you know, Roku has about 35 million subscribers. So I'm not saying we're going to get all 35 million, but we have a lot more opportunity to get some people than we do here on Facebook. Not that we don't have a lot of opportunity here on Facebook. In fact, everybody right now, do me a favor and share the show. Everybody just hit share and go share it to a couple of groups, couple of friends' pages, your page. If everybody that's watching shares the show, we're going to have more of a fan base watching, which is only going to help the artists that we bring on the show. So the artist that I have on today, I actually want to I want to get right to, because she's amazing. Her name is Annie Brobst. You're going to see some amazing country music today. She is the 2019 New England Music Awards Live Act of the Year, the 2019 New England Musical Country Music Local Female Artist of the Year. That is a mouthful to say. I have seen her play at Xfinity Center, and it was amazing. And I'm going to bring her on, and you can see all her accolades right there. I am stumbling over my words today. She's open for Montgomery Gentry, Kelsey Ballerini, Rodney Atkins. Too many to list. Let's just bring her in, let her tell her story. Hello. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
I am fumbling my words today. It's been a stressful afternoon. So really quick, everybody who watched the show last week know I had some technical issues with Phil. Guess what? They were all back today, and I've actually been streaming for an hour offline to try to get them all worked out, and I'm a little like this. But we're going to work through it, and we are here to learn about you and your music and the stories behind these songs. So introduce yourself.
Okay, well, thank you so much, first of all, for having us. It's great to see your face. It's been a while.
It has.
So my name's Annie Brobst, as you just said, and a local New England country artist. And this is Ryan, my wonderful guitarist and boyfriend and songwriter and all of that. So he's very multi-talented over here. But we're just so happy to be here. I see a lot of our friends are in the house, part of our ABB Army fan base there.
Which is quite rabid from what I know.
Oh, they're amazing. They're the best around, for sure. And you know what? They support a lot of local artists and music, so I think that's what's so great about them too, is they just love local music.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so this is us. This is an honor to be on your cool show, and
thank you for being here.
All of those labels and stuff, I can't even say them.
You know what's funny is I practice them all. I sit with that slide and I practice that slide. The last 45 minutes flustered me a little bit, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. But
I know it.
You know.
I know. Well, great. So what do we start with? Do you want us to dive into a song, or do you want us to tell us a little story about it first?
Well, tell everybody a little more about you. I want them to get to know you, you know, as an artist. You know, tell them a little about your history, the things you've done. I know you've been traveling a bit in the last 2 years, getting more and more into opening for really big name artists. So I want you to sort of get everybody up to speed who may not know who you are.
Okay. Yeah. So I came from Columbus, Ohio. I moved out here in 2007 after I graduated college, if that dates me a little bit. But and so I've been out here for a while. It's crazy to think about how long it's been. And I really didn't do a whole lot of music per se in Columbus. So I did choirs and things growing up, but I didn't songwrite or really anything like that. So that all kind of started out here. I came out as karaoke one night, and somebody heard my voice and said, "Hey, do you want to join my band?" And instead, we kind of created a band around me and cover songs, did cover songs. And then another cover band picked me up from seeing my YouTube videos from that. And that was
Nice.
a bigger, more popular band around. And so we did some opening gigs with them. And then I met Roger Hagopian pretty shortly after that, who was like, "We need to write." And I didn't really know what that meant or how to do that. And he kind of, showed me the ropes. And that was when our first song was created. And we created an EP and just kind of kept writing. So I owe a lot to Roger, who's still in the band. He's a pharmacy tech right now. So he's one of those essential frontline workers.
Good for him.
Yeah. But so that was kind of what brings me to here. And we hit the ground running a few years ago with the Annie Brobst band, and got some award nominations and got hired to, got some big opportunities and tried to just prove ourselves from there and just do it the organic way. And, the best thing you can do is go into a big gig and kill it and then hope for more. So
yep.
It's been good.
Funny that you started from karaoke. See, everybody? Go up there and sing your heart out at a karaoke bar, and you wind up opening for national acts.
Yeah, right.
So now the last couple years, last 3 maybe, that I've really seen you pick up the pace a bit with opening for nationals. I know you went out to Colorado a couple of times. You've done a lot of big festivals. Tell everybody a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we just happened to have a booking agent that we were working with. She actually lives in Vermont, but she had her hand in some of that booking for those festivals, and she really believed in us and set us up with some great opportunities. And again, some of those we were planning, we had to perform on the side stage, which was still a cool gig, but we'd be there and somebody would get sick for the main stage. So the first year, I think it was like Walker Hayes and Luke Combs lost their voices. And so they needed 2 of the side stage acts to play on the main stage to kick off the day. So just like
awesome.
One thing led to another, and we did really well. And so then they invited us back the next year to be on the main stage. And just, it's been a crazy ride, but one thing certainly leads to another.
Yes. And I know throughout my career, similar things like that have happened. And when they're organic like that, when it's just happenstance, it makes you feel really good. The opportunity just sort of picked you out of the crowd, and you made the most of those opportunities. And it shows because, the amount of bigger shows you've been doing and the venues you've been playing has been very impressive and very fun to watch.
Oh, thank you. It was so nice to see you the one time. So funny, you were like over the fence at Xfinity Center.
I know, I couldn't get it. She's playing at Xfinity Center, and I'm looking, and they wouldn't let me in. I was like, "Hi, Annie, I'm over here." Which show was that? Was that the Lady A show, or which show was that?
I think we did a few of them that year, but I think it was Lady A that we saw you.
Yeah.
Those are so fun.
Yeah.
VIP Club, there's a side stage there too that we've played on. It's just such a great feel-good thing, It was a nice night.
Jason, the guitar player from Lady Antebellum, will be on the show in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, I saw that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I can't see that one. That's awesome.
If you've not heard, he's got a solo jazz. Yes, I said jazz. It's unbelievably good. Anyway,
That's
what
cool.
song are we going to be doing first for you?
So we're actually going to kick off with that first song that I wrote with Roger when I first moved out to the Boston area from Columbus. It was a title track off our first EP, and I think you even shared our music video earlier this week.
Okay, wait, was that Ghost?
Yeah, so if that's cool, we would love to kick with the old school one, the first one ever.
So tell us now, how'd you write it? What was the story? Here's what made Ghost come out?
Well, I think that was where Roger sat down and it was like, we need to write a song together. And so we sat down and he's like, what's your biggest story right now? You just moved here from Columbus. Why? What was the motivation to do that? And like, as it says in the song, subtly, I was seeing a guy in college and I moved out here to be with him, and it didn't end up working out, but it got a great song out of it. And it brought me out here to these awesome people and this awesome network, and all the ABB Army clicking new charts right now.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
then, ladies and gentlemen, Annie Brobst and Ghost.
High on California, took a look at Arizona, thought about New York for a second too. I was being attacked down in a small town, where the word always gets around. Every step I take just slide me down. Well, my mind is pushing forward, but my heart is in the morning. It's time for me to get up and leave. So I'm moving up from the city I need the most. I'm moving up to a new home on the coast. Yeah, I'm moving up. So raise your glass and make a toast. 'Cause that'll leave me here as nothing but a ghost. When I met him on a Sunday, and then we hung out on a Monday. On Thursday night, he promised me the world. So I packed it up to Boston, another world I couldn't get lost in. The happy ending I thought I deserved. But now he says he's moving forward, but my heart's still in the morning. It's time for me to get up and leave. So I'm moving out from the city I need the most. I'm moving out from the bed I love the most. Well, I'm moving out. So raise your glass and take a toast. That'll leave me here as nothing but a ghost. When I know, I made it through water, sticks and stones, and not unscathed. I'm not afraid to find the strength inside to find the same. That I'm moving out from the city I need the most, and I'm moving out from the bed I love the most. When I'm moving out, so raise your glass and take a toast, 'cause that'll leave me here and nothing but a ghost. 'Cause everyone just call me crazy, taking off the love tonight. 'Cause in the morning I'll be alright. But I regret tomorrow coming. Another day, another day. Leaving me here and nothing but that'll leave me as nothing but a ghost.
Yay! Thank you. Oh, I think he's still muted.
I am. I did that to myself 2 weeks ago with Monk Dwayne, too. I mute myself while you're singing, and I'm forgetting to look over and hit the mute button when I turn off. You know what, though? We're live. It happens. I'm running the show, and I'm on the show, so it's a lot to remember to do. I love your voice. Oh, my God. I love that, and that's a great song. When you went in to record that, what was the thought production-wise? Obviously, we know you're a country artist, but was there, like, any specific thing you went with a vision, and did it just come out exactly the way you saw it, or how did it work in the studio for the recording on that one?
So because that was the first song that I had ever written. I really trusted Roger's vision on it, and Roger has been, Roger's been in bands and written songs and produced songs and all of that, and recorded songs forever. So he really came in with the vision. He had a good idea of what he wanted, but I think the other beautiful thing about it is we usually come in with an acoustic track, and we work with Sean McLaughlin at 37 Foot Productions,
Yep.
who is a genius.
He's amazing.
And
I've yet to work with him, but everybody just raves.
He's so good. He's so nice, and he's kind, but he's so smart. And he just, he's a machine. And he had a vision for that one, and he runs it by us, and we kind of put it together, in the moment. And he just does so much. If you give him that acoustic track, vocals and guitar, and that's it, he helps you build this beautiful song. So he really did a good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the video came out fantastic. Now, when you shot the video for that, did you, who did you work with for the video?
So that was Justin Mayat, who's actually in Nashville now, I believe.
I know that name.
Yeah, he's done videos for a lot, especially country artists around. Great photographer as well. And then has worked with some big people since he's been down there. Just talented guy. And he really created the storyboard for that video. So he had a whole vision for it. And we used the apartment I was actually living in at the time and some of the local places around. So we used like Danvers High School, their football field, and O'Neill's, our popular spot on a Monday night. We had a residency there for the longest time, and that's the bar scene. So it was just cool to see some friendly places in there too, places we know and love.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's such a great song. As a writer, I listen to that song and I'm just like, oh, everything's right where it should be. Like, it's just, but it doesn't sound like it was like formulated, like, a lot of the songs these days that come out of Nashville, and it's like, 1 + 1 = 2. That doesn't feel that way,
Roger came from a punk rock background.
Oh, get out of here.
So a lot of our songs, that he has his hand in, at least, you can hear when Roger helped write a song, because it's just got those catchy hooks. And in that one, Roger's a huge Beatles fan, and there's that dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So
typical Let It Be line.
Right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of Roger in that melody. But yeah, the only critique I have is, and I noticed it came to me last summer. We were at Fenway Park doing a rooftop series, and in the middle of the song, I had a out of body experience, and I thought I was singing the song wrong, and I'm like questioning my own lyrics in my head. Like, I've sang this a million times. Am I singing it wrong, or did I really rhyme most with most? So the chorus changes from the city I need the most to a new home on the coast is the first chorus.
Okay.
Second chorus is from the city I need the most, and then from the man I love the most. And I'm like, who let that happen?
How did that slip through the cracks?
And you didn't notice it for how long?
Well, honestly, the song had been out for 6 years before I noticed that I rhymed to the same word twice.
At least you didn't forget the lyrics. I've been on stage singing my own originals and went, uh-oh.
I've done that before, yeah.
When I first started this back up about a month ago, I started just coming on Sundays doing my originals, doing like a storytellers type of thing. That's where this grew out of. I had to sit down and woodshed my own songs. I was like, oh my God, I don't remember some of these.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they're going back 20 years, but still, they're my songs.
Some of them you hammer out in the studio, and then you don't play them very often after that.
Right. If they don't make the live set list, you may not have played that song in 5, 8, 10 years. So,
yeah. That's
all right, what song are we going to move on to next?
Sorry, I'm taking my wine time.
Nothing wrong with that.
So this next one, so all of the songs we've done on the Ghost EP, 5 tunes on that, and the My First Rodeo album, 12 tunes on that, were all my stories. So just stories from my life, personal to me, except for one.
Okay.
So we chose this one song. I'm sitting in O'Neill's, where we played a Monday residency for over 5 years. And my good friend Tyler walks in, and he is by himself, and he sits at the table right in front of us, imagine front row, right? And I'm singing, and we take our break, and Tyler goes, "Tonight's the night." And I'm like, "Everything all right?" And he's like, "I'm going to break up with him tonight." So Tyler's going to break up with his boyfriend this evening, and we're sure this is going to happen. We knew it was kind of stewing for a while. And so Tyler goes, "Wish me luck." He leaves. Not an hour later, he comes back in with the guy because he had just picked him up at the train station, which was right down the street. And I guess he decided he wanted another drink. So he comes back in, and the two of them are sitting there, and they are miserable. They're like staring at their phones. Tyler's drinking as much as he can, and they are just not speaking to each other. And so I have like my iPad up. I'm singing like "Friends in Low Places" or something crazy. And in my head, I'm seeing this song appear before my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, this is a song, and I need to write it. And so that's where this one came from. So this is really Tyler's story, and it's called "We Were Breaking Up."
Okay, here we go.
All right. The comments, everyone's saying, "Tyler." It was raining on a Monday. It was just another Monday. Even though it was a winter, it was kind of warm. You were staring at your phone while we're sitting there together, probably going home alone. This was the calm before the storm. The band was playing breakup songs. I was sucking down every drink that I could get my hands on. Praying that I could get in a little quicker and give me something good to do. Get my dance on. Well, I was dancing this time. It was different. I was scooting and spinning, and I was really creeping. I was shaking you off. I couldn't shake it enough. Was breaking it down as we were breaking up. I'm breaking it down as we were breaking up. We both got in the car, we didn't make it very far before you started telling me again that I was wrong. Well, I was texting your friends saying, "Here we go again." By the time we make it home, I know that I'll be gone. The radio is playing breakup songs. I was looking all around for a party that's lights on. I tried to stop the light. I jumped up out the car 'cause it never knew. I went dancing this time with her. I was spinning and spinning. I was really going. I was shaking you off. I couldn't shake it enough. I was breaking it down. We were breaking up. Breaking it down. We were breaking up. Didn't cheat. Didn't lie. Just couldn't quit from your eyes. Should've danced. Should've tried. Give us one more night, come on. 'Cause we dancing this time. We get there instead of scooting and spinning. We be really red instead of shaking you off. We falling in love. Now I'm shaking you off. I can't shake it enough. Dancing this time. Different. I'm scooting and spinning. I'm really I'm shaking you off. I couldn't shake it enough. It's breaking it down. See you breaking up. Breaking it down, see you breaking up. Oh yeah, we were breaking it up. Now, all right.
Yes, nice job.
Thank you. That's a fun one.
Did I see Tyler in the feed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Oh, he'll be here.
He was like, who?
He's like, "Ooh, me?" Oh, he's so great. They're so great. And Layla's here too. She's sitting across from us, clapping and singing along. She's one of Ryan's daughters.
Now you can see me.
Now, what is that on one of your records as well, right?
Yeah, that's on my first rodeo, the pink one. And Sean also did that whole album, so that's a cool little tune and dancey little number.
Now, do you use your live band in the studio, or do you do the Nashville thing and get studio musicians?
We do the Nashville thing for the most part. Roger and Ryan are on pretty much everything because they wrote them, and because they're super talented. But our band guys are killer and they're amazing. But Sean, you know how Sean works with Mike Lebec, and they are like a tandem, and they are a well-oiled machine, and that's kind of part of the package going in. So, and we know that, and we love them, and Mike is an amazing drummer. So we're happy to have them play on everything. And Sean and Mike are just really, really great composers too. So, you know, they're creating some badass parts. So we're happy to have them be on everything.
Super efficient too, the way that they work together and the hours that they can do. It just gets done perfectly consistently. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've ever heard from, you know, my last two guests, Phil Pacino and Monk Dwayne, both work there as well, you know, with him for the recordings, and just stellar quality.
Oh yeah, that song we just did, the part that's like, you didn't cheat, didn't cheat. That's Phil.
That's my Phil impression.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best
Phil
job.
sang on that song.
That's awesome. See, it's such a small world up here around the Boston area. Everybody knows everybody.
Well, Phil introduced me to Sean, so that's how that whole relationship started.
Okay, there we go. So which one are we going to tread into next?
Right. We've got a couple more for you guys. The one is it's a relatively new song that we wrote, and I, you know, I've told this story live before, and sometimes I get a little emotional, but when I was a little kid, I loved to sing, and my dad loved to hear me sing, but I was really shy in terms of like people seeing me sing, because I thought I made funny faces, or like I had braces and I turned red, and I don't know, it was just like awkward central. So I would sing in the dining room around the corner, and my dad loved to hear Amazing Grace. And so then one year for his birthday, I just did like a little voice memo on the old computer we had, and created like a track of it, of just me singing it a cappella. And then years later, for his birthday, Roger and I got into Roger's home studio and recorded Amazing Grace, and made this kind of nice track that's actually out there publicly, and high quality studio recording. And then my cousin passed away not too long after that, and they ended up playing that at her funeral. And then we lost my uncle earlier this year, and they played it at his too. And I mean, it's an old recording, and I cringe about it, but I don't think I could have sang it live to honor them. So I'm so happy that we had something to play that was personal to our family. And so the song has kind of, Amazing Grace has sort of taken on this new life in my head and for my family. And so we thought we would take the spirit of Amazing Grace and create a country song about all of the amazing greats and great artists that have inspired me. And
okay.
So this song was born. So I know it's kind of a crazy long story, but it's personal. But we also then tried to keep it nice and lighthearted for folks who love country music.
So let me ask you a question before we jump into the song. As a writer these days, especially, are you typically someone who goes in with a thought, or someone who sits down and says, "I'm going to write a song tonight. We'll see what happens"?
So I jot down concepts every day. So I have little memos in my phone. I just write down like, oh, here's a concept for a song. What if we did a song like Amazing Grace, but Amazing Greats? And I write that down. Okay. But I don't write the lines yet. And I don't necessarily have a melody yet. And I take that to Ryan or to Roger or to both of them. And we sit down, and it's like, here's the vibe I want, and here's the tempo I want. And can you help me make this idea come to life? And then we kind of go from there.
Cool. Do you guys find, as writers, and this is something I've asked everybody so far, is it laborious, or your songs tend to be a couple of days, 3, 4, 5 day writes, or is it like, wow, that one just fell out in 35 minutes?
It's both. It's varies.
Okay.
So it depends on the song. Some of them have just fallen out in 35 minutes or 45 minutes. But then some of them we still have that we started a long time ago and haven't finished them because we just haven't.
We all have those.
Yeah, we just want to let them sit too for a while, you know, and tweak it. And then even once we do the whole song and do a scratch track of it, I'm like still like, okay, we need to go back and tweak that part and tweak that line, you know. So it's an ever changing process, but some do just come out. you know?
Yeah. Oh no, I think we all go through that. I've got songs that are 10 years old that I haven't finished yet, and then I've got ones that were, the length of the song was how long it took me to write it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I said to Monk, I think that, sometimes I don't even consider us songwriters. There's times where it's like the muse decides to give us a message and we just drop it. Because there's some songs as a writer, and you guys will probably attest to it, where you're just like, wow, where'd that one come from? It's like, oh, there it is. And that is, I'm not touching it. Every word is right. Every lyric is right. Every chord is right. And you're just like, where, thank you. You're just like, okay, cool.
So Change of Heart is that way. Change of Heart happened pretty quickly for us. So that was a different song we're not going to do today, but it is on our album. But that one was, that was kind of, I think that was one of our quickest.
That was pretty quick. The one that we just did was pretty quick too. We were breaking up.
Yeah.
We busted those melodies and the format of the tune out pretty quick, and then like everything, we throw a couple hours into the lyrics, and then next day reanalyze and say, that wasn't as good as we thought last night when we had a couple bottles of wine. Let's fix this. Whatever.
Right.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It used to frustrate me. I used to go to Nashville a lot. I spent about 5-6 years going to Nashville, like 2-3 weeks a month. And the thing that drove me crazy down there was these people who wanted to stop at every line. Like you'd write a line and they go, okay, let's make sure every word. I'm like, can we just sort of get the feel, get the vibe, then go back and sort of peel it apart maybe? But they wanted to stop like with every word and every line, and I'm just like, how do you do that? How do you write like that?
Yeah.
That's.
I think it's just got to find co-writers too that operate how you operate. I think that really helps too when you can just sit down and do it the same way. And you're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yep. And that takes.
You definitely got to be minded to work with somebody, but you also want somebody who's also a little outside of your box too, so they can bring something else to the table for sure. It's like you were saying about Roger. Roger is such a pop punk lover, like that whole SoCal pop punk scene. Like, and so he just always has that edge. And the funny thing that he does is even we'll write some ballad in, when as we start to finish it up, he'll go through it and do it as some sort of like Green Day tune. He's like, let me just do, he's like, I have to do this for a minute just to see if it works. He's like, if it works as a Green Day tune, it'll work as like a pop country hit. And so he'll do those bands, like whoever they are.
He's like Newfound Glory is a huge inspiration. But you should hear his punk version of Ghost. Is a fan favorite.
I've never heard a look at it that way before. If it works as a punk song, it'll be great for country. Like, wait, what?
Well, it's true in the fact that all those melodies are usually written pretty well. All that punk pop stuff, it's very catchy, and it sounds more like 50s music and Beatles tunes than it generally does like rock songs, just very hooky and stuff. So it's a good way to look at it, at least for a minute. And
it's always good to have that yin and yang, because I mean, look at the Beatles, look at Lennon, McCartney, left and right there. You look at bands like Oasis or Pink Floyd. There was always that one kind of pulling back and forth on the other, and it created the greatest music ever.
Yeah.
So okay, so this one is called Amazing Greats.
Greats, yeah, like GREAT, greats.
All right.
All right.
Tim told a story about Johnny, and Johnny, he sang about Jim. And who could forget about Dolly, who promised she'll always love you? Well, ain't Loretta knew a thing about our coal mine family traditions ain't same. So thank records for Faith Reba, Shania and Martina, and all of the greats who taught me to sing. We once were lost, but they paved our way. Where would we be without amazing grace? Oh, well, remember when Daddy let us drive that old Ford, back when the king was just a young troubadour, and Well, now my uncle's an angel who loved John Pride and taught me to live like I'm dying. The best song I ever heard, the best lesson I ever learned was always and forever be humble and kind. Amazing grace, the melodies they made, I'll carry them to our grave. We once were lost, but they paved our way. Where would we be without amazing grace? And where would we be without amazing grace?
Nicely done. Nicely done. That's cool.
Thank you.
That is very cool.
That did heartful one.
It's your own song.
That's right.
Did you just drop some wine?
No, it was shit. Layla was heckling us. No, I'm just kidding. No, but we're gonna need to refill for this last one.
Especially with the name of this next one.
Yeah. Let me give myself a little boost here. Our friend Tyler went by Costco today and dropped us off some goodies.
That's a good friend.
That is a great friend right there. So yeah. So as you know, this is today is last week we just released our new single "Red Wine on My Mind."
Yes.
And tonight is our radio premiere around 10 o'clock. So we're so excited to hear it play on the radio for the first time.
Now, what station will that be playing on?
That'll be on 101.7 The Bull, so local to Boston. But anyone outside of Boston can listen on thebull1017.com.
Okay.
So there, you can listen from anywhere in the world.
And that just released last Monday, correct?
Yeah. Yep. We had plans. We had a city winery gig booked that Friday night, and that was supposed to be our big single release.
Yep.
So we were sad that we couldn't line those up perfectly, but we felt like we need to still go forward with the release because we need some music out there. And this has been a fan favorite at live shows, so people have been like waiting for this tune. So we were so happy to finally release it.
Yeah. Was this also recorded with Sean?
This was Sean. Yeah.
Okay.
We did a couple of singles was it like Christmas time?
Like
in December, we recorded a couple singles with Sean, and so we released "Little Girl Dreams" earlier this year, and this was our second single of the year.
So now you have 2 full CDs and then 2 singles.
EP. We have a 5-song EP and a full album.
Okay, and then 2 singles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure everybody you go find her on Apple on Apple Music, on Google Music, on Spotify, on pretty much where else can they find it? Just all the normal.
All the normal ones: Google Play, Amazon. They're all there. And then my website, AnnieBrobst.com, AnnieBrobstMusic.com, Facebook. You can find it. I kind of blow it up and keep people very, very updated.
You are good at your marketing. You are good. There are a lot of people who could take lessons on marketing from you. Trust me.
Well, thank you. I sometimes worry it's just annoying, but people seem to respond well to it, so we try.
Well, remember too, if you're doing the Facebook part of it, the algorithm only lets like 20 people at a time see it anyway.
It has to be annoying. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, red wine on my mind. As we see the glass in your hand.
Yes. And so you can see our people commenting. They know that this is time to drop the wine emoji into the comments.
I am seeing a lot of wine emojis in this. Yes.
Yeah. We've done a few live videos since this whole quarantine thing started, and that has been the fun time when people can drop as many wine emojis as they can and share the crap out of the video. So.
Nice.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. Do you want us to dive in? What do you think?
Well, was there a good story to this one? I mean, that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Were we drinking too much of red wine one night and?
Probably. In my whole life, but I don't tell this story that often. It really started like, obviously there's Tennessee Whiskey. It's a drinking song, and
Right.
I imagine a guy sitting there, you know, at a bar drinking Tennessee. That's kind of what I envisioned for that song. And so the girl equivalent to me is like in my comfy clothes on my couch by myself, and I've got a bottle of wine and I've got a few on, you know, on deck, and I'm just like going through the wine and just letting my mind just let go a little bit and just enjoying wine and being by myself and taking in those moments for myself. So that was where this came from. But we were at O'Neill's one night on a Monday, and it wasn't very crowded, and so we told the crowd there were like 5 people there. And we were like, we're going to write a song with you guys right now. And so he started playing something, and I just went on the mic and I was like, I don't know, I got a red wine on my mind. And we kind of started to try to make things rhyme after that. And we created the chorus one night at O'Neill's on a Monday. And I still have that voice memo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so this was written at a live show. It was started, so that's kind of cool.
Always fun. I have one like that too. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
So organically fun. It was at a house concert. It's too much fun.
That's awesome.
Okay, so red wine on my mind, ladies and gentlemen, Annie Brobst.
I got red wine on my mind. I got nothing but time. When I'm drinking, I ain't thinking about who I am, who's done me wrong, where I'm headed and where I'm going. So all I got is red wine on my mind. You're sneaking up on me, yeah, from the bottom of my glass. Depth of that damn bottle is how long I'm gonna last. Measuring the strength of a woman by the company that we keep. Well, it's just me this year while someone feels that still on me. Come on, y'all. I got red wine on my mind. I got nothing time. When I'm drinking, I ain't thinking about who I am, who's done me wrong, where I'm heading, where I'm going. So all I got is red wine on my mind. But I don't get why I drink you. It always gets inside my head. Oh, baby, it's in the beat inside my bed. Measure strength of a woman by the distance to that door. Well, I'll sure as hell be staying put right after just 5 more. Come on, I got red wine on my mind. I got nothing but time. When I'm drinking, I ain't thinking about who I am, who's done me wrong, where I'm heading, where I'm going. So all I got is red wine on my mind. So walk my hangover, a little block in my heels. Yeah, you might wanna wait till I get sober. Tell me how this feels. I got red wine on my mind. who I am, who's done me wrong, where I'm headed and where I'm going. See, all I had is red wine on my mind. I got nothing but time. When I'm drinking, I ain't thinking about who I am, who's done me wrong, where I'm headed, where I'm going. All I got is red wine on my mind.
That's awesome.
Here's all our viewers right now.
Yeah, winding it up.
There's a lot of wine going on in the chat room over here.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if they're drinking all that wine too.
You would hope. I mean, it's Sunday night. It's the end of the weekend. It's raining out. We can't go out like we did last night.
Right? There's no better night for a glass of wine than tonight.
Every night. So, tell everybody a little bit about the house tour you did. Because that I thought, and I even sent you a note. I was like, oh, I want to steal that from you. But it was too awesome to steal.
Feel free, steal away if you need to. It's so much fun. Yeah, you know, this all happened, and that first week when it started happening and we started getting a lot of emails and calls about shows being canceled, it was like another like gut punch after the other. And, you know, this was supposed to be a really big year for us. And I know that's probably the case for everyone because we're all trying to progress and move forward. And, you know, we took it upon ourselves to say in 2020, we're going to do all original shows and we're going to plan it for, you know, small 100 to 200 person venues and be the headliner and sell tickets and really try to sell every place out and work really hard. And then that week when everything started to shut down, a lot of those big shows we had planned and so strategically placed throughout the year were gone. And so I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And, you know, people had been saying, you should do live videos like so-and-so are doing. And I was like, I don't know. You know, I was not happy. I was like, none
of us have been happy about any of this, actually. We all know that.
Yeah.
They've taken people who live on a stage and said, no, stay home.
Yeah. So it lost a lot of motivation. I'd wake up and I didn't know what to engage with my fans about because I didn't feel like we had any shows to talk about. We didn't have anything to promote. We didn't have any new music. It was just, I was feeling like really sad. So, I think I saw somebody post some funny meme that said, I'm going on a bar crawl and I'm going to put a drink in every room of our house.
Yep.
You've seen this meme or this quote, right? And so I said, why don't we do a tour and we'll do every room in our house? And he's like, yeah, then we can clean the house.
Then you'll have to put your clothes away.
Then you'll have to clean your closet and the basement and all these things.
This is a great idea.
Yeah. So we did it, and you know, and the fans were just amazing. We did it every other day, and I thought, even you know, I'm like, is that oversaturation? Is that too much? But they were amazing. And I think it, you know, every show got roughly 8 to 10 views, and just so much engagement and all the shares. My likes on my pages have gone up by hundreds because all the shares were making new people come to the page and get to know us. And and it was so great and so successful. So
speaking of that, if everybody listening would share the show right now, we would appreciate that greatly. I know that I caught your bathroom show, which I thought was awesome. The acoustics in the bathroom were great.
Right.
Isn't it funny how the strangest rooms have the best acoustics?
Right. The basement sounded really great too.
And all those are still online to watch, right? Did you keep them on your artist page?
Yep, they're still up, and I did highlight videos the day after, so everybody could kind of get like a recap, and we could pick our best moments from the night, and it was just really great. And yeah, I don't know. And so we decided we wanted to remember this forever. Not that I don't think we could ever forget coronavirus time, but we are commemorating it with a T-shirt. So we just took final orders last week, and so it was another way for people to support us, but they also get a house tour T-shirt with like the whole list of dates on the back and everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is the design up on your Annie Brobst page on Facebook?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the
I'm gonna look at it.
Did close, but yeah, it's up and you can see like what it'll look like. And we actually took a picture of our front post that says 107, which is our address on it, and that's the front. So I kind of like cut it out, and it's all black and white, and it looks really cool.
And it's cool because now it's limited edition because you only did a certain amount, so it makes it even cooler.
Yeah.
All right, so tell everybody where they can find you on the web and spell your name so that they don't screw it up.
Okay. They can find us on anniebrobst.com. AnnieBrobstmusic.com takes you to the same place, but then and my last name is Brobst. Right. It's tricky, but once you find it, it's the only one. I'm the only Annie Brobst, so that's helpful. But we're all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're actually going to be on Instagram in a little bit for another live with New England country music, which is so exciting.
What time is that? So you've got 3 things going on tonight. You have this one, and then you have Instagram at 8:00.
Yeah. So and actually he's letting us have access to their Facebook too. So that's kind of exciting. So we'll be on Instagram and Facebook simultaneously at 8 tonight, and then hopefully everybody tunes into the Bull at 10 to hear the premiere. That's
awesome. And it's the premiere of the brand new single "Red Wine on My Mind." Is this the first show you've played it live on like that?
We've played it. No, we've done it live. So actually, it was funny about that song. It was born live, and so we weren't sure. Like we were playing it full band at shows live before we even got into the studio, and
Very
so that's
cool.
Because then you have. It's good, but it's also like you're a little bit attached to this vibe, right? And you're attached to how the crowd responds and various things. So it was tough when we got into the studio. We were just like crossing our fingers that it was going to be as good as it is live. And I think it's cool because it does capture a different vibe a little bit, but it brings something else out of it. So and Ryan rips a crazy solo.
That was going to be my question. Is since you got used to knowing it as a live track with the energy of the crowd, were you able to translate that? Do you feel you were able to translate that in the studio?
I think it's really hard to ever do that unless you just have like a room mic and you guys are all jamming and doing your thing. So I don't think we translated the live aspect over, but I think we created something new and cool.
Very nice.
We gave it a new vibe that's a little more intimate, but it's still a song that I would like pump at a party.
Oh yeah, and we made the form a bit different so it would make sense in the studio than on the radio as well. You know, our live rendition of the tune is longer. It's a bit more dramatic, longer solo sections and stuff, and it's just
longer breakdown.
Yeah. There's just more. You know, it's a live tune. You know, so we kind of it's the studio version is a condensed version, but it still rocks. Yeah. It
just rocks in a different way. We got some gang vocals at the end too, so it's. I think it's just cool and it adds something new to the song.
Very cool. Well, thank you for coming on and doing this with me tonight. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, and I hope everybody listening will follow and continue to support. You've got some great people coming up.
Thank you. Once again, I'm going to put your info on the screen for everybody to check out. I will be back in just a moment for you guys.
Okay.
2019 New England Music Awards Live Act of the Year, 2019 Country Music Local Female Artist of the Year. She's performed with a who's who of country's music. Thanks for being here tonight. Next week, I have Jennifer Teft on the show, and that is going to be awesome, and you're going to want to come and check out Jennifer. Thanks for tuning in tonight. This is the Sunday Storytellers Series. I'm John Taglieri. I'll see you guys next week.
I've been searching for something in me. God knows how hard this journey's been, but there's a fire burning, there's a finish line to reach, and my convictions are what keep me sane. 'cause I'm wide awake and dreaming. Those shadows can't find me anymore. These days I'm believing in everything that I'm fighting for. Times like these from me are fleeting. Never know when you're gonna get another chance. But I find the strength